Welcome back to the lounge. I hope your day is going well so far. Let's get back into the game. Now, from the last episode, all I did was I finished off the last couple of trainers in that area to the right over there. I grabbed all of the items in the area, nothing too exciting. Star piece, one is one of them, so I sold that. Did some shopping. Got my items stocked back up, and then I trained Alf a couple of levels. Didn't want to do too much grinding with him though. I think that's the bed. Yeah, this guy should be a trainer. Okay, so we're gonna go through the SSN this episode. Hopefully get through that. We got another rival fight coming up. Cool. Okay, not too bad. Now, Fira might be able to get to a Dragonair by the end of this episode. That would be cool if she did, but she does gain EXP at a slower rate than other Pokemon, or rather, she just needs more in order to level up. But she's part of the pseudo-legendary line. They've got that slower EXP curve. There's also nothing to worry about. Side beam, that probably won't do too much. Oh, okay. Thankfully they've got that next door, so I'll go rest her up there. Now, I still have not used that rare candy, but I don't know if I want to get Saphira up to get her up to a Dragonair. There is a certain level actually at which Twister starts to deal more damage than Dragon Rage, which does 40 automatically. I think that happens, sometime when she's a Dragonair. So I do want to get her there quickly, but I do generally prefer to save my rare candies until, the last possible moment. Because it gives you whatever amount of experience you need to get to the next level and no more. So if, for example, if I were to use it on Saphira right now, she would only go up that little tiny bit up to level 28 and then no further. Which I like the experience candies in the later generations, those which you can use at any time and they're useful. Because they always give you the same amount. But, so for example, if she needed, say, 1500 right now to level up, at level 50, or 54 even, when she's a Dragonair, the last level before Dragonite, it would be, like, easily over 5,000, so it's more useful to use them later on. I'm gonna go rest again because these guys are hitting hard. This is starting to get to the point where every Pokemon encounter is going to be tougher and tougher. I think she just thinks I'm a waiter and asks for something. I think this young girl is not a trainer as well. Okay. No, there's one guy here. Okay, yeah, these two. The battles, and I'll be able to pick up that item. I think that might normally be a TM, so it could be something pretty cool. Skarmory. That's one I've always thought was a really cool Pokemon, but never really used. So I don't know what his stats are like or anything. I eventually was able to get like kind of a similar experience with Corviknight, the bird in Gen 7 or 8, whichever one it is, for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Basically, the Corviknight was one of my mains going through the story in that game. It was really good because I think it knew Home Claws as well. So a lot of like the negative aspect of Steel type moves is that they generally have lower accuracy. Like there's not a lot of them that have 100 accuracy. Not that I can think of off the top of my head. And then, so yeah, using Home Claws at least once, it raises the accuracy enough to where you don't really have to worry too much about missing every time you use a Steel type move. And then it also raises attack as well, and most of its moves were physical damage anyway. So yeah, Corviknight was really cool. I love using it. I forget what I named my Corviknight. I might not have got a name because I don't know. I don't always. I'm going to switch out. I actually probably should have switched out to Jellian, but Sanji will be able to handle him. For an attack, let's see. That's not too bad. Double kicks. Ooh, okay, so we'll need one more. Ooh, that's so close. Okay, yeah, we're good. I was worried he might use a rock type move or a ground type, but nothing to worry about. He probably knows rock throw or something like that at that level. Yeah, I don't generally nickname Pokemon, at least the first time around. I always do, of course, for the Nuzlocke, because it's a rule I like for the Nuzlocke itself, but... Ooh, Ice Beam, that's so cool. Nice. But yeah, this one is just the police officer, so let's go back. Rest up again. Sorry I'm doing this so much, but I want my guys to die. Let's see, now up here is... yeah, okay, so this is out onto the deck. I think this guy is... Yep, okay. Beat all the trainers down here. Emerald, okay. Spear's getting pretty close now. Might be able to get that Dragonair by the end of the episode. Or, well, not even by the end. Might get it sooner. Speaking of dying, though, the trainer battle on the SSN, this is the one where Gary and his Raticate, that whole, I don't know, what would you call it, just a fan theory or conspiracy theory, whatever, however you would prefer to refer to it. Oh my god, Fury Attack. Yeah, I thought that was more or less debunked a while ago. Let's switch out again. Sid will be good. I think Matt Patton from Game Theory did a whole theory debunking it. But a lot of, I think, still see a lot of people talking about it as though it's true. I never personally believed it because I don't like adding those darker elements to Pokemon where it doesn't really belong. Slam. Yeah, nah. I don't like the low accuracy moves. Yeah, no offense to anyone that does believe that Raticate theory, though. There's just a lot of aspects of it that doesn't make sense. Like, why only specifically the Raticate? Like, for those that don't know, the whole theory is that when you defeat Gary, or whatever you call him, on this boat, he's unable to get off of it in time to save his Raticate after it's KO'd, and yet only so the next time you encounter Gary after this is at the Pokemon Tower, where people lay their fallen, dead Pokemon to rest. So the theory is that you accidentally killed the Raticate during this fight, and then he went and buried it at the Pokemon Tower. But the problem I have with that theory is that why only the Raticate? Why didn't any of his other Pokemon die? And also, this is something that MatPat brought up that when I first heard this theory. Oh no, Magnet 210, 1 second. Oh. Numi, you can't be hit by ground type moves. Okay. So that was a little worrying, but yeah. So back to the theory. I forget where I was with it, but yeah, essentially why only that one Pokemon, and why the thing that MatPat, I'm got it back, that he brought up was that the Pokemon were part of the reason people believe that the Eradicate died rather than just being put into the box, is that they didn't think Gary had the ability to put Pokemon in the box. But two things about that. One, the Eradicate is level 16, I believe, when you encounter it, meaning it's not, it wasn't, he had a Rattata before. So it wasn't one that he evolved out of Rattata, because it doesn't evolve into Rattata until level 20. So it was evolved beforehand. I think that's, oh yeah, I checked this guy. And, yeah. People just seasick and whatnot. So yeah, it was not a Rattata that he just evolved. He had to have caught another Raticate, which I don't think there's really actually any places you can do that in the game outside of one area that you couldn't access at that point in the game. But still, but he would have had to have caught that Rattata in order for it to be level 16, like to have become a Raticate early. Firestone, Yellow Flute, what does that one do? And then secondly, along with the theory of him not having the ability to box his Pokemon, at that point in the game he tells you he's caught 40 or 45 Pokemon already. I think, yeah, we'll be able to see here in a moment when I battle him. Wait, yeah, there's still one area down here for more items and trainer battles. So yeah, he only has, if he's got 40 Pokemon by that point, he only has 4 or 5 Pokemon on his team at the time. Meaning most of them have to be in the box. Anyway, that's enough about that theory. You can go on believing it if you want. I don't particularly care one way or the other. I believed it myself for a long while, but I don't know. I do love all of those Pokemon fan theories and stuff, though. Yeah, I talked about them a little bit in episode 2 because of the recording issues I had, which hopefully have been resolved by this point, but just after I resolved one, another popped up. I resolved that, and I had a completely new issue. Finally, over the weekend, or over the weekend, I figured out a little bit more about the audio system for the recording device that I'm using. I watched some online tutorials and whatnot for it, and hopefully those will allow me to keep the to make the audio sound a little bit better for these compared to what I had before. Yeah, they're still working through the growing pains of becoming a YouTuber. Doing this as a hobby and everything is I've been having a lot of fun with it, to be honest, but it's there's a learning curve for sure. And I'm not working exactly with the best equipment. I've got the Blue Yeti mic, and it's decent, it works, but it's not there's much more high quality mics that you can get out there. And studio recording setups and stuff that some people have. I've got I don't even have a gaming desktop, so I want to do other game recordings, and I might, after I'm done recording these Pokemon episodes, I'm probably going to try out either XCOM, Darkest Dungeon. I was gonna say Dark Souls. I can't do that one yet, but yeah, I'm gonna try out some of the other ones to see if the recording quality is at a good level, a level I can be happy with and everything. But yeah, I'm working with just a basic desktop that cost less than $1,000, and I don't exactly have a ton of money. Hold on. Is it? His HP is probably fine. I don't like what that guy says there. It's a little concerning. Old orb. Yeah, if I can make I'm probably years away from this, but if I can eventually make a full-time career out of doing YouTube, which is my hope, not doing gaming specifically, but this is gonna be like the number 2 channel for sure. I'm starting it off now because it's easier than the one that I want to do. As the one I want to have as my full-time YouTube like channel and series or whatever. It's easier to do these recordings as a way to start off. There's more general appeal with Pokemon and with video games and stuff. So I started with this one because it was easier, but I will. Yeah, well, the other one I could just say now that I want to do is one on books, reading, writing, stuff like that, because that is the ultimate goal of my life, I guess, is to become a published author. Can't do that yet because my writing is just not good enough, but part of the reason I want to make a YouTube channel is to motivate myself to work on that dream more. You know, I work on it a little bit in my spare time, but I work in addition to doing like these YouTube recordings, I work a full-time job, so it doesn't leave me with a ton of time to work on it, but I do get every bit of time working on it as I can. Like, I'm reading Stephen King's book on writing right now, as well as a couple of others, and I'm going through. At Christmas, I bought a whole bunch of new books I've been reading. Every opportunity I have. Oh, yeah. We got our Dragonair. So, yeah, stats are looking pretty good. Special defense is the highest, so I guess, yeah, I think Calm Nature must be one that boosts special attack, or special defense rather. Yeah, everything else looking not terrible, but still lower than everyone else attack-wise. Well, the main move I have for her. Oh, Waterstone. Nice. The main move I have for her is not dependent on the stats anyway. So, got her to 30. She's evolved now, so let's work on Sanji a little bit for the last couple of battles here. But yeah, that's the dream, is to be a writer. And that's one of the reasons I want to do YouTube to begin with, is to be able to self-publish when I eventually am able to get novels published. To be able to self-publish and to have a little bit more name recognition, and to be able to advertise it a little on my own, because I don't know if I'll be able to go through a standard publisher. Maybe if I can get good enough. Maybe like having that more name recognition with YouTube will allow me to have more like negotiating power or whatever you would call it with the main publishers out there. But yeah, that dream is probably a long way away still at this point. He's level 30 now as well. Let's get Jellian up front. Or Overheat. Cool, okay. Yeah, I got Ice Beam earlier. I don't know if I have anyone I can teach that to at the moment. But that could be useful for later. Just for that extra little bit of type coverage, and if I happen to encounter any of the later gyms that have, if they have dragon types, it'd be good for it. I don't want to switch. Excuse me. Bubble Bean. That up. That's the #1 move. Oh. Nice little finish it off with that defense drop. Yeah. Looking like this is going to be full SSN episode. But we'll go until we beat every trainer, get off the SSN, and then next time we'll be able to take on Lieutenant Surge, and then probably make a little bit of progress towards the Dark Cave as well. Between episodes, I'll probably. Oh wait, I don't know if I have enough Pokemon to even get it. Because I'm talking about the TM Flash. You need to have caught at least 10 Pokemon in order to get it, but National Dex Pokemon don't count right now, I don't think. Because going by the National Dex, I've probably had enough catches to get it, but I don't know if I have enough Johto or Kanto Pokemon. Guys, in order to get that. In which case I would just have to, well, I don't want to like catch extra dudes just for the sake of getting that item. So what I'll probably end up having to do instead is just navigate the Dark Cave blind, which is that's probably gonna take a while. I used to be able to do it on Pokemon Red because compared to, like, in this one, it is pitch black completely, so you can't see a dang thing in there. But in this game, oh wait, no, yeah, in this one it's, you know, pitch black, so you can't see a thing except for a little circle around you. In the old games, though, you could see, like, vaguely where you were in the cave at any time. Like, you could generally see the walls and navigate through. Like, I never got Flash in those games because I was able to navigate through on my own without needing it. Rest with this chick probably one last time. Alright. One last row of rooms here. I think you're just, yeah, you're just the guy who's like, hey, look at this Snorlax. You're just snoozing away. I don't think I've seen a Snorlax yet in this. Maybe, but can't recall. It'd be cool to catch one. I like Snorlax. He's got, you know, strong defensively and physical attacks. He's not bad, but and it all comes down to the randomizer. I can't choose which Pokemon I encounter here. Because I know that in most routes at this point, if I could choose what I was going to encounter, I would have chosen something aside from what I encountered. Like what I encountered first, basically. I would have caught one of the other Pokemon on the individual routes, given the choice. Like, I think on the first route, there was someone really big. I think it was Aggron. And then just up at the Route 24 area, there was... yeah, I thought that was going to be very effective. I'm going to switch out... Alph is 4 times effective, so as long as he survives whatever you can throw at him. Yeah, okay. we'll be fine. But yeah, on Route 24, there was Metagross, who is one of my favorite of the pseudo legendaries. Because he's one of the only ones that doesn't have 4 times weakness, I don't believe, because he's Steel Psychic. So that would mean Steel is weak to fire, and yeah, I think that might be it. I'm not sure, not certain. And then Psychic is weak to Dark, Ghost. Well, at least those 2. So I don't think it has any that are 4 times effective. I'm gonna Leech Seed this guy. That was super useful in training this guy. Almost lost him a couple of times while training. But with Leech Seed, he was able to live through everything we could throw at him. All the way back up to full. Nice. So yeah, all the different routes have, you know, a lot of cool Pokemon that I would have loved to have, but this does have me using a couple of guys I not really used before, at least in the case of the Electabuzz. Never used an Elekid or him before. Why do you both have Bagons? Jeez. Gotta love the randomizer. Yeah, but I don't think I've ever really used a Tentacruel before, unless I've needed like a swimmer real quick. I'll just catch one for that. Or wait, no, I don't think you can. Yeah, so I think you can only catch or encounter Tentacruels while surfing. So I would have already had a Pokemon that can surf. So yeah, I guess I probably never used one then. I can remember. 2 Mystic Waters. Okay, well I've got enough water Pokemon for that to be worth it. By Crawdon sitting in the box. Are you? No, yeah, you guys are not trainers. Crawdon doesn't know anything really good right now. He's got Bubble. That's not amazing, and then Vice Grip, which is decent with his stats. But he's Water Dark, so I'm not 100% certain on his movesets, but I do believe he learned some Dark-type moves at some point. Don't remember off the top of my head what level. Alright. I forgot for a second that I switched Water Pulse and Bubble Beam. Well, Water Pulse probably would have finished it off anyway, but this works too. Wingull, okay, Acid should work against you pretty good. Yeah, glad I trained Gently enough, but it will still be useful to take throughout this game. She's a little bit beefy, so don't have to worry about her getting taken out generally in a one hit. Yellow Shard, man. Gotta love that. Those randomized items. You're always hoping for, you know, rare candies, lucky egg, maybe any of the items that can give you really good money amounts, you know, star pieces, nuggets, those stuff. And then you get a yellow shard and you're like, why did I randomize this again? I've been having to like stock up really good on healing items because I know it's almost certainly not going to give me a lot of them. Like, certainly less than it would normally. Yeah, so anytime I start to run low, I just immediately stock up. I have at least 5 of each of the status heals, and then as many, just at least 10 super potions generally. Is this alright? 2 more doors here. You a trainer? You are not. Neither are you. Alright. One last battle. I never remember like exactly which room. Well, for the most part I remember them, but heal Jillian up. We'll keep her out. I remember like most of the rooms and what are there and stuff, but sometimes I forget if a certain room has any trainers in it or not, or items as well. So I just wanted to double check. Okay, jump bluff. Acid will probably work. Yeah, I don't know if it's part poison, but let's see. Okay, good. Must be just pure grass then. It's another Pokemon I've never used, so I wouldn't mind getting a jump bluff. But I do have a grass type already, so what types do I not have? Okay, so Jillian is water, poison. Sanji is fire fighting. Electabuzz is just electric. Numi is psychic rock. I guess I'm missing. Oh yeah, Saphira is dragon, of course, and will be flying eventually. And then I've got grass fighting as well, so... Man... The fact that my rival has my favorite Pokemon ever annoys me just a little bit. Explosion. He's so cool. I hate what they did with him in like later generations with his sprite in particular, where his little collar of flames that he's got, they don't have it always active, which they should. They just have it whenever he uses, like the first 3D sprite I saw of him I think was in Pokemon Colosseum, and that was only like the collar of flame was only activated when he used like flamethrower or any of those moves. Might have been with all moves, but yeah, it wasn't active all the time. Still no Beautifly yet. Yes. And then, oh man, my favorite in Pokemon Legends. They gave him Ghost type, which, I mean, kind of cool. You know, he can use Shadow Ball a little better now. Or well, I don't think he could actually learn it before. But I don't know. In that game, he just felt weaker than normal. I don't know. Like he wasn't hitting as hard, and he was getting hit too hard. Maybe that was just because at the time that I was using him regularly, I didn't have him. Well, I had him leveled up pretty well because all of my guys were leveled up pretty high. Getting cut real quick here, and instead of effort values in that game, they gave you those like the grit dust and grit rocks and that kind of stuff. And I didn't know how to get more of them at first. Like I didn't realize that if after catching a ton of Pokemon, if you just went to that like daycare, like I forget what it's called in that game, but it's kind of like a daycare area where or the equivalent of the PC. So long as I san. Yeah, if you get rid of a bunch of them from that area, it'll allow you to get a bunch of grit dust and stuff. So maybe I just wasn't using that enough, or maybe I forget what his nature was, but maybe his nature was bad for like defense and good for speed or something like that, or I don't know. He didn't feel as powerful as he does in Gold, Silver, and Crystal games and their remakes. That's what I was driving at. All right, now let's see real quick where I ended off here. Who can learn Cut right now? I don't want to teach it to Sanji. Let's see. Tackle, I guess, yeah, it's better than tackle. So, alright. This'll do. Alright, so next time we'll be fighting Lieutenant Surge, and then we'll see where we end up after that. But thank you so very much for watching, wherever you're watching. Please like the video and leave a comment if you enjoyed it. Share it if you know someone who would also enjoy it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And I hope you'll join me again next time. But for now, farewell.